Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Rajni Agarwal, Professor and Head, Department of Periodontology. The topic for today is periodontal pocket. What do you mean by periodontal pocket? It is the pathological deepened gingival sulcus. It is a most important clinical feature of the periodontal disease. If the periodontal pocket is present, we generally diagnose it as a periodontitis case, or that is the periodontal disease is present. Now, gingival sulcus, it is lined by tooth on one side and the gingival epithelium on the other side. Now, there can be either the coronal movement of the gingival margin or the gingival attachment can be apically displaced, or the condition can be that there is both the coronal movement of the gingival margin is also present as well as the apical displacement of gingival attachment is also there. If only the coronal movement of the gingival margin is present, it is called as the gingival pocket. That is, it is formed by the gingival enlargement without the destruction of the underlying periodontal tissues. The sulcus is deepened because of the increased bulk of the gingiva. So it is not a true pocket. There is no displacement of the apical tissues, and it is called as the pseudo pocket or the false pocket. The periodontal pocket is a true pocket when the destruction occurs of the supporting tissues occurs and there is apical movement of the gingival attachment. The pocket can also be classified as the suprabony periodontal pocket and the infrabony periodontal pocket. That is, the pocket can be either gingival or the periodontal, and periodontal pocket is further classified as the suprabony and the infrabony pocket. Suprabony pocket is also called as the supracrestal or the supraalveolar. That is, the bottom of the pocket is coronal to the underlying alveolar bone. Whereas if there is the bottom of the pocket is apical to the level of the attachment of the alveolar bone, it is called as the infrabony pocket. Now in this, the pocket wall will lie between the tooth surface on one side and the bone on the other side, because there is the bottom of pocket is below the alveolar crest. This is a picture showing the true pocket as well as the false pocket. The first picture shows the false pocket, that is gingival pocket, in which the gingival margin is coronally moved. Now you will find that the sulcus depth is increased, but the apical attachment of the gingiva is not detached, so only there is movement of the coronal margin. The two other diagrams shows the periodontal pocket or the true pocket, in which the attachment of the gingiva was here on the tooth, that is at the CJ. Now it has apically shifted, but in this condition the base of the pocket is lying above the alveolar crest. So it is called the suprabony periodontal pocket. Whereas in the third, that is the C diagram, you will see that the base of the pocket is apical. The attachment is detached, as well as the base is lying between the tooth on one side and the bone on the other side. So this is the infrabony pocket. Also, we can divide the pockets based on the number of tooth surfaces involved. It can be simple, it can be compound, or it can be complex. If only one surface of the tooth is involved, like only the mesial surface is involved, we will call it as a simple pocket. If two or more surfaces of the tooth, either mesial, distal, or buccal lingual, if two or more surfaces are involved, it is called as a compound. Now, one more condition is there in which the pocket originate on the one surface of the tooth, twist and involve the other, but the lining, it is not the orifice, it is not communicating to the above to the sulcus. So this is called the spiral pocket or the complex. It is a pocket originating from one tooth surface, twisting around the tooth to involve one or more additional surfaces, and in this the orifice is on one surface and the base on the other. How will we identify a periodontal pocket, or what are the clinical features of the gingiva which will show that there is a periodontal pocket present? We can detect the periodontal pocket using the periodontal probe, and clinically we will see that the gingiva is bluish red in color. The margins of the gingiva will be thick. you will see a bluish red vertical zone from the gingival margin to the alveolar mucosa. The bleeding, or when you probe, there will be gingival bleeding. Even the patient will complain that there is a spontaneous bleeding while brushing, or it can be on its own, the bleeding occurs from the pocket. Also, the pus discharge or the suppuration can be present from the area. The tooth can be mobile and the spacing will be there, and if it is present, then diastema can be a condition, clinical feature which is present in the area. Patient will complain of the gnawing pain. So when you percuss the tooth, also the pain can be present, but the pain will be gnawing and not localized. To know that how is pocket developed, that is how is the apical movement of the gingival attachment occurs. Initially, first the inflammation of the connective tissue wall of the gingival sulcus occurs in response to the bacterial challenge. In the sulcus, you know that the bacteria are present, and when the bacteria, in response to that, the connective tissue act. Now, how does this connective tissue act? It contains the blood vessels, and from that, the fluid, it moves out from into the surrounding tissues or the perivascular tissues, and the perivascular tissues, they degrade. The cellular and fluid inflammatory exudate causes the degeneration of the surrounding connective tissue, including the gingival fibers. Apical to the junction epithelium, gingival fibers, they get destroyed. Now, you know that fibers, they are made up of collagen, and collagen gets destroyed, and the areas get, when the destruction occurs, the empty spaces will be present in the connective tissue, and that will be occupied by the inflammatory cells and the edema. Now, there are two mechanisms by which there will be loss of the collagen. Now, you know that for degradation of the collagenases are required, and they are secreted by either the inflamed tissues, healthy tissues, such as fibroblasts, cells like neutrophils, macrophages. They all releases the collagenases. Even the bacteria, they release collagenases, causing the degradation of the fibers by destroying the collagen. Also, the fibroblasts, they phagocytize the collagen fibers. Now, they add the cementum interface, the collagen fibers, they are inserted. Now, they are degraded by the fibroblasts that extend the cytoplasmic process and degrade the fibers at the cementum interface. So, the fibers will be lost and the space will be empty, occupied by the inflammatory cells. As a consequence of the loss of the collagen, the apical cells, now the gingival fibers in the connective tissue, they are destroyed. When they are destroyed, there will be apical cells of the junction epithelium will start proliferating along the root, extending the finger-like projections 2 or 3 cells in thickness. So the apical portion proliferates, and the coronal portion of, that is the gingival sulcus, it is occupied by the PMNs. And when the volume of the PMNs will reach more than 60%, the tissue, it loses the cohesiveness and detached from the tooth surface. So the apical displacement occurs and the coronal detachment occurs, and the pocket will be formed. Thank you.